Okay, devotees, maybe I'll share my screen quickly and let me know once it is visible. Today is an very interesting, I would say, content which Mahanand Prabhu have designed. Okay, so can somebody please confirm you are able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's very clear.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ravi Prabhu. So before we begin, very happy Krishna conscious New Year to everyone. I pray to Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai that all you devotee continue a very in peaceful way and may progress in devotional service and bring other souls also to Krishna consciousness. So with that, I'll start with today's session. So this is a special session which we conduct on Sundays apart from Bhagavad Gita and Bhakti Ruksha classes. So this is like life coaching with Bhagavad Gita. So this is we give a terminology as Gita mindset, how we can practically uh, apply in our lives the principles of Bhagavad Gita actually. So there are a lot of applications there. It's theory we are learning from Bhagavad Gita, how we can practically imbibe in our day-to-day life, and it will our mind should be becoming like Gita. That's the reason we are saying Gita mindset is there. So formally, so Hare Krishna, all of you. So I am welcoming you to this course of Gita Gyan, the life coaching with Bhagavad Gita, presented by ISKCON Seshadripuram, Bangalore. And with that, we'll start. So can somebody say if somebody has seen the WhatsApp messages, what's topic we are about to cover today? Any devotees? It's flashing on the screen as well.
Yeah, how to overcome fear. Actually, that topic only attracted me to join the session also today on time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Mataji. So yes, as Mataji said, uh, the topic of today is that how we can overcome fear. So basically, in everyone days to days life, they are having some fear. So we'll get into the topic, but before we start with the topic, we'll start with the prayers, and then we can start. So this program is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So we'll take his blessings and we'll start. And it's saying at the age of 69 years, he left India, and in the next 10 years of span, he has established more than 108 temples. So he was so fearless. Srila Prabhupada was so fearless in propagating the message of Krishna consciousness also. We'll also take the blessing of His Holiness Jayapataga Swami Guru Maharaj, who is the GBC and spiritual master of us. And we'll take his blessing and we'll start the prayers such that we are able to invoke the mercy of the Lord Krishna, such that we are able to understand the message of this summarization of the Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which we are about to discuss today. ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnavishaya Bhutale Srimati Jagata Samniti Namine Nama Acharya Padayani Taika Padayani Gauragata Dhama Dayane Grama Tarine Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pagumante Krim Yat Kripataham Aham Vande Shri Guru Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Charan. Hi Krishna. So once again, welcome everyone. So there is one message which is there flashing on your screen. Is fear good or bad? So Gayatri Mataji, Mahita Mataji, Neha Mataji, and Ravi Prabhu, can you want to say something before we jump up into the topic? What do you think? Is fear good or bad?
Fear absolutely is bad, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm.
To overcome the fear, there are certain techniques or procedures in Krishna conscious. So I feel that I'm going to get such kind of tips and techniques today through your. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ravi Prabhu. Yes, Gayatri Mataji wanted to say something.
No, I was going to say it is like I think fear of the God or like Krishna is the only thing that's okay. Rest of the fear I think is bad. Like sometimes it helps to have that fear, or I don't know how you call it, but fear of people I think is bad. I mean, definitely bad.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Any other devotees want to add? Mahita Mataji or Neha Mataji? Yeah.
Hello.
Okay,
Prabhuji,
we'll
I'm
see.
Mahita's mother.
Yes, Mahita Mataji.
I'm Mahita's mother. Mahita went outside, so I joined today. Just to.
Oh, Haribol. Welcome to the class, Mataji. Yes, Mataji,
Thank
you
you.
want to say something?
Yeah, is fear good or bad? In some cases, it is required. For example, a kid should be careful when he sees fire or electricity, but at the same time, he should not be scared for silly things or get fear. So in some cases it is required, in some cases it's not, as the other Mataji also said.
Yeah, perfect, Mataji. That's why your mother, as Mataji said, fear is sometimes good also, and fear is sometimes bad also. It depends on circumstances and situation also. So fear is also good because it's actually keeps us cautious of the possible dangers. Like as Mataji said, if there is a fire is there, then we are cautious. Okay, if we go near to them, something might is harm our body or something we might get hurt. Sometimes if we also say this fear is good in the sense, you can say when we were there in the childhood, this exams used to be set by the school at the end of the standard. We need to pass the exam. If the exams are not there, the children's or the student won't be studying. So that fear is there. Because of the fear that we'll be getting fail in the examination, these people or the student used to study such that they are able to pass. So sometimes it's good and sometimes it is bad also. So like that also. So if there is an absence of actually of fear, what will happen? People will end up in dying also. In the extreme cases is there. So suppose take an example, this traffic lights are there, the policemen are there. So they have whatever the countries in which you are living. So there are rules and regulation or the disciplines are there which you need to make up. So even if you say when you drive a car or when you drive a bike or a cycle, there a brake is there. So if you like drive your car or scooter fearlessly, what will happen? You might end up in accident, or you might have end up also somebody hitting also. If the police is stopping you, okay, you need to stop it. If you apply to that rules and regulation, what will happen? No dangers you will be encountering. And if, in case what happens if you're not stopping, the other way it might be there. You might have end up in jail, or you might have been hurting up somebody also. So fear, if you see, it's a very natural thing and very it's an important instinct which is there in human being is actually, if you see. So there are a lot of kinds of different kinds of fears are also there, which we'll be discussing later also. So we see when animals attack, they actually attack due to fear actually. So if you go to any tiger who is there in the jungle, and means they won't be fearful in that way. But if you go near to that cub or the childrens of any of the animals, then you see those animal will be becoming fearful, and due to that fearful, they will become they'll be showing in the form of anger, and they will just rush you towards, and they might injure or harm you also. So that's the reason it's saying, so when animal attacks, they attack due to the fear also. We can see a picture of also is there when it sometimes it's trouble you, or during the Diwali time or something, if you see when the crackling is there, noise will be there. So usually these dogs will be going inside that room, and they don't want to hear the noise. They are becoming fear. Even the cats are also there. If you're taking their meals away or something, or so, they will be feeling okay, like they're eating away my food is also there. So that's the reason. So sometimes our anger is also generated from fear also there. So we see birds are also feared, okay, how we should be living, or sometimes and we can see how we as an animal is fear is not only in animals, but it also in the human beings also. So usually what I can see, maximum of the people goes through of the fear is what will happen to me, what will happen to future. Usually we don't live in the present, and we always keep on thinking about this. We have seen this in the pandemic also. During the pandemic, when the corona existed, everyone was so fearful, everything, okay, will this, the world will be going to an end? uh, is there any condition that will be continuing to live in our home only, we can't go outside also? So a lot of fear was there, and due to that, lot of anxiety, lot of stress also come through. So sometimes we see fear is good also, and fear is bad also. If suppose in the state or in the country which we are living, if there is no government applying that rules and regulation, what will happen? People will start living fearlessly, because there is that if you do any crime, you will be put behind the bars. So because of that fear, sometimes people don't commit crime also. So that's the reason. So sometimes it is good also, and it is bad also. So fear is generally, if you see, there are different words are saying what are the different kinds of fears are there. So we are being hearing, okay, like everyone have the fear. And if I discuss about this kinds of fear, so sometimes we say survival of the fittest. That is a fear of survival is there. Whether we are working in that any industry, or whether you are in a businessman, we are thinking, okay, if I don't work, what will happen? My family members, my friends, and all whoever is there who's dependent on me, they won't be able to survive here. So we are constantly thinking about the future. Okay, what will happen if I stop earning? What will happen? Like what my family will be there. So second is like a type of fear is the fear of validation. It is sometimes say, okay, if I do certain activities, what other people will say about this? Sometimes we say, oh no, those people will be commenting on me, and then I won't be doing. Because of that validation reason, sometimes even if you want to do those activity, sometimes we don't do, because people will be judging you. So that's the reason we don't do. And sometimes people are, means they're engrossed in their activity so much that they always want to be a perfect, and that's the reason it's known as fear of perfection. Whatever the activities they do, they always want to do in a perfect way. And sometimes we have seen also, there's so many activities also we do, and maybe there is a steam is there, low confidence it is there. People sometimes feel like, oh no, even if you give you a task, I say, no, I can't do it. uh, for an example, if you see this kind of is happening when we were there in schools, people will be having certain stage fear. Oh, you know the topics, you know everything, but what happened when you're giving a mic and when you're about to speak in front of a stage, like a crowd of people, what will happen? Slowly that fear will be coming, and then you will be thinking, no, I can't do that. So this is also like due to our low confidence will be there. So this kind of fear generally comes. This is known as fear of speaking. And sometimes a lot of people, they don't want to try also any of the activities. No, so no, I don't want to try because I'll be failing. I means maybe I'll fail, and that's the reason it's known as fear of failing. So like that, we see there are different kinds of fear every human also having, and there are other living entities like animals are also possessing those kinds of fear is there. So what is the root cause of all the fear, if you see? So why we are actually scared, like why this fear is coming inside us? Let us see why it is there. So if you see, why are we scared when we see? So suppose this picture, if you see, this is a like very dark pitch room is there. So why are we scared of the dark actually, if you see? So it's the same. Suppose maybe in our house also, if we say, like your house is there. I still remember when I was there in the childhood. So my father was working with the Indian Railways, and the quarter used to be very big. It was kind of haunted house. If you go inside a house nowadays, like 4 to 5 flat will come inside that, and like it was just inside of a jungle, and like all it was surrounded by trees and all the reptiles and everything. So sometimes in the evening, if you like, sometimes the current is not there. It was a very pitch dark, and sometimes the same house we are living on a very day-to-day basis also, or you can say also the same road you are also going in the night. Suddenly, the same road we on like in the same room we are living in the morning, but we are not fearing. But what happens when it is completely dark? We are not able to see. What happens? Suddenly, a fear come or scaredness is there. So it's a saying, darkness actually symbolizes ignorance. So wherever the dark is there, what will happen? This fear will be there. Even the same road also you have traveled so many number of time also, but still that fear suddenly comes. Okay, what is happening is there. So it's a saying, wherever light is there, there won't be any fear. So what is the general why we are scared of the fear is there? The reason is fear of the unknown. We are uncertain of that what will happen. We are always thinking of this one. What is this unknown? We'll discuss also. So wherever this darkness, how it can go, wherever it is like. So suppose in this dark pitch room, if the light is arriving, the same person who was having fear, the suddenly the fear goes away. So that's the reason Bhagavad Gita, if you see, Bhagavad Gita is the light of knowledge. And what happened? Whatever ignorance is there, it removes all the darkness which is within our heart. When we start reading Bhagavad Gita, what will happen? Whatever this darkness is there, because it comes from the ignorance, and the ignorance, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, this by the knowledge in your heart, I will be dwelling, and I'll be removing this completely ignorance. So what is this fear of unknown? If I ask you everything, this question, what is the greatest of unknown? Why do we fear? Can somebody say? According to you, what is the greatest unknown of this thing, which human beings fear of then? Gayatri Mataji, Sanjay Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Ravi Prabhu, Raja Gopalan Prabhu. Does somebody know what is the greatest unknown?
It's I think the future, right? The next minute, what is going to happen, we don't know. And
Yes.
that's.
Yes, Mataji, you are perfectly correct. Let's see what is also here also is there. One is there. So what is the greatest unknown is there? It is known as Mrityu, or the death. Why we are afraid of the death? If you see, Mataji was talking about what will happen about the future. So constantly, the people who are living in the present, they always think about the future. Where does the fear of unknown come from? So we think like, okay, whatever we are earning, whatever we are having, family and friends, at the end, this death is for sure is there. Whatever we are having, everything will be living to this material world and will be going. So sometimes people do their activities, and then they have a question also. They think like, okay, what will happen after death? I won't be having anything. Where will I go? Whether I'll be going to heaven, or whether I'll be going to hell, where should I go? I don't know actually. So they are always keep on this unknown thing is there. That's the thing, is that the death is the unknown thing. They don't know. We don't know when it will be coming to us also. So this is the root cause of this greatest unknown. We are always thinking about the future, and we are. That's the reason we are. Many of the people are afraid of the death. They say no, I am fearless, but when they are on the bedridden, or sometimes if they say something, they ask the doctors and they said, doctor, can you give me some minutes? I don't want to die actually. So that is there we are afraid. Let's see how psychology talks about there is a in the brain there is syndrome is there. That's the reason everyone gets a fear is there. Let's talk about on the psychological basis, and then again we will come back to this topic. So if you see, it's known as a amygdala hijack. So when I was, you can Google it also, or it's mentioned in Google also is there. So if you see this blue color right side, so it's a saying this blue piece size, it's known as mentioned there as a kind of size of an almond, known as amygdala. So this is known as a, whenever fear comes, it's known as amygdala hijack. So we can see there are two pictures are there. The left hand, if you says the blue color, which is this amygdala, has been this cortex of the brain will be there. So it's been attached here. It will be there, and this is the brain stems is there. So this is known as a higher cortex. So where the emotion is very low, the person is there in the normal, they will be having this low emotion. The person will be feeling calm and they will be relaxed. And whenever high kind of emotions will be there, and that's anger, fear, excitement, even in love also, and hate, disgust. So this kind of emotion, what will happen, this will be disabled. So it's mentioned this blue color amygdala is there. This is known as a high emotion color. So that's why when it's this hijack comes, or whenever the fear comes, it's increases, and that's the reason we go through a lot of high amount of emotions also we go through. So if you say when you fall in love also, we see they sometimes we make a lot of promises also. Okay, I can do like anything for you, and then we see we go through so many troubles. So this is known as high emotion, like, and thus the ended up with anger, fear, or extreme hatred. So these are all happening in generally in the nowadays romantic movies also, if you see. So those are nothing but about, these are like abnormal state of your mind will be there. It won't be current, but at that particular time, since this it's hijacks and it goes away. So it's what happens, this amygdala, it's actually jams the blood circulation to the rest of the brain. So it jams, and that's the reason the blood is not able to flow to the upper part of that. And that's the reason what we happen, there is a purpose of is there fear detection. We like detect, okay, fear is there. So what happens when there is a detection is there due to this amygdala? We when we detect, okay, fear is there, what we do two things. Either we fight or either we flight on that particular situation. So before any situation comes in the mind, because of this amygdala, it stops the brain, and then you'll be everything means blood pressure, everything, it will rise, and then you'll be thinking, oh, this is about to happen. Should I fight this situation or should I run away from the situation? You'll be always having two choices. If you're not able to control those, if a tiger is there, you can't fight with them. So if you are standing, if you are having, if sometimes if you are numb, if you're not able to fight the situation, the tiger will come and kill. So this is about psychology. So the psychology talks about, and it will tell you about the consciousness about yourself. So when it is hijacked, so it will tell like, okay, it happens like that. But psychology doesn't talks about what is the solution beyond this. It talks about, okay, this is this because of this amygdala, the blood pressures like stops the circulation of that, stops towards the brain, and that's the reason that you will be having this two situation. But it doesn't have a solution, or it doesn't goes beyond this. But shastras have a solution. So shastra says, if you're having this hijack, if you're having this thing, what you need to be done. So with that, we'll see what is there. So this effects of this gunas in managing this amygdala, how we can manage this amygdala if something happens in our day-to-day life. We have already covered this three topics on this Gita 18 days. If somebody haven't gone through that, you can go through the videos we have already, it's there in the YouTube. So basically, in this material world, wherever we are living, so we are being conditioned by the three modes of material nature. So it is mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of goodness. So mode of goodness is known as sattva guna. The mode of passion is known as rajas, and mode of ignorance is known as a tamas. So based on the we have discussed in a detailed way, but just to give a synopsis here, says that it will be able to, those people are joining you. So the is the saying the only way to conquer this amygdala hijack is to live in a sattva guna, which is known as a mode of uh, goodness. So we have seen maybe I'll zoom it a bit. You'll be able to, I'll start with the ignorance first. So these are the characteristics which people will, who was there in the mode of tamas or the ignorance. So these people will be always be having a dull mind, because see, three things depends also. Whatever you eat, whatever people kind of association also you keep. So based on that, everything you will be having, that consciousness will be there. So these are this. Characteristics are there. They will be always be apathetic, lazy. They will be foggy, and they will be always be in depression, and they will be always be in fearful, in avoidance. So sometimes a problem will be there. Instead of fighting to that problem, sometimes they will take to some intoxication and then say, okay, the problem is solved. Again, the next day, if they are wokes up, and then when they say that intoxication is not that, again the same problem that is still exists. So what happens? They sleep more and they rest more, and this is, so it's the same. It hinders about the self inquiry and meditation. The person who comes under the mode of passion, they are always having an energetic mind. So they always want to work. They want to enjoy their fruits. It's because of their unlimited desires. They want to enjoy that, and they having a distorted awareness. They don't know. Okay, they know. They think like, okay, if I work hard, then only I'll be getting money. But they don't know beyond this. And sometimes they get power and they think like, okay, something is there, and they are always busy in what, doing all those things, and they are very passionate about their work. They want to, and they're sometimes they're very aggressive, and they why, and they will be always be frustrated. Why? Because for the so much of day and night, they are putting so many hard work. If they're not getting those things, so they will be frustrated because not they are not getting to the results. So, and that's what will happen. They will prone to anxiety. So the result is there. They will be always in this desire will be there. I want to achieve this. If they have one car, they will be desiring, okay, can I have a two car? Then will be always be in anxiety when they don't get, and then it allows for motivation. And what is happens, this hinders is about self information and meditation. So when people are there in the mode of sattva guna, so that what will happen, this mode of guna, because of their knowledge, and it's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, this kind of person will be having this clear, calm mind, reveal this awareness, and this they will be having the power. They will be able to take the decision. They will be easygoing. They will be having a balanced life. Okay, not they won't be eating too much. They won't be sleeping too much. They will be having that balance, like, and that's the reason they will be, because of their knowledge, they will be always be peaceful, and they will always be contented. Whatever they have got, they will be peaceful. Okay, maybe I have worked so much, because of the blessing of the Lord, I have got this much. They will be always be truthful. They won't be cheating anybody, and that's the reason they will be always. And that's the, when you are in the mode of goodness, it will facilitate towards the self inquiry. That's the reason we will be able to do. So when we hear more about the Lord, more about the katha of the Lord Krishna, and when we tell others people also about Krishna, this is known as a preaching. So what happens, we come onto the mode of goodness, the mode of then we'll be able to judge the situation very carefully. Let's see what further this is in, how we can develop this sattva guna. So it's a saying, when the living entity becomes strongly situated in the mode of goodness, then religious principle characterized by devotional service to me become prominent. One can strengthen the mode of goodness by cultivating of those things that are already situated in goodness. And this religious principles arise. When we follow the rules and regulation, we go above this sattva guna. So devotional service, Srila Prabhupada used to say, anybody who is chanting what the rounds and is doing some services to the Lord, he is able to go beyond this mode of goodness, which is known as Suddhva Sattva Guna. And when this is above the, so Srila Prabhupada used to say, when we follow four regulated principles and when we chant our rounds, so four regulated principles are there, like we don't kill anybody, we don't do intoxication, we don't harm other human beings, we don't have illicit relation with anybody. So like that, when we follow this four kind of regulations, so what will happen, we rise above this sattva guna, and then we'll be able to know this thing. So let us go through one story to see how we'll be able to understand. So there is this fearless 5-year-old kid is there. Does somebody know who is he?
Hare Krishna Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes, Neha Mataji, thank you. So this is Prahlad Maharaj. So today we are about to, so after this also there are a lot of stories are there, which we will see, and then we will be able to conclude why fear we are getting. So this is the story about a fearless 5-year-old kid who is this epitome of devotional service. So he shows us how by doing devotional service we are able to transcend these three modes of material nature. So this is the story about of Prahlad Maharaj, who was the son of Hiranya Kashipu. So this stories is about when Hiranyakashipu was doing tapasya. He did tapasya for 60,000 years. So when he was Hiranyakashipu was doing this tapasya, so what happened? Hiranyakashipu mother name was Kayadu. So what all the demigods? Just a second, I'll mute everyone. 1 minute. Yeah. So what happened? So when Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of Kayadu, so all the demigods came down and wanted to kill this Prahlad Maharaj. Why they wanted to kill? Because they were aware that Hiranyakashipu have went for austerity. He was doing some penances to get them. They were aware this demon Hiranyakashipu, his child will be also be a demon. So all this kin Indras and all the demigods came here to kill Prahlad Maharaj here. So at that time, Narad Muni came and then protected. He said, and they instructed all king and the demigods, you can't kill this, even if it is a demon also, you can't kill the child. And this child will be a very, very great devotee of the Lord. So it's a mention there, Prahlad Maharaj, actually, that Narad Muni took him from the palace of the mother Kayadu, and along with Prahlad Maharaj, this actually mother Kayadu kept Prahlad Maharaj in the womb only for 1,000 years. So during the Satyuga time, the people were so austere. Nowadays, people can't keep in the womb of they can't keep the child for a longer period. But they had the boon, they had the power at those times. So Mother Kayadu told, until unless my husband doesn't come back, I won't be delivering it. And then she kept for more than 1,000 of years also. So at that time, as I told, Hiranyakashipu was doing this tapasya. She thought like, begot that until unless Maharaj comes, I won't be begetting this. So what happened? Narad Muni actually used to give kathas, and Prahlad Maharaj used to listen. So as I told, the Devta wanted to attack and kill that, says that the son doesn't become a demon like Hiranyakashipu. But Narad Muni then took this Kayadu and said he went to his ashram. And when he went to his ashram, Narad Muni was always preaching to Kayadu. And so all the knowledge was also with Prahlad Maharaj as well. So Prahlad Maharaj says, in the further also, if you see when you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says Prahlad Maharaj says, means when he was taken to the king, Hiranyakashipu. So he said, how you are able to remember everything? So I say, I remember everything, but my mother have forgot everything, but I remember everything because Narad Muni have gave this instruction. So he also, Narad Muni, we saw like how Prahlad Maharaj gave us this 9 process of devotional service, which we have also discussed in Gita 18 days. And we'll see like that because of this Narad Muni, Prahlad Maharaj actually got that entire message of the uh, Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever scriptures are there, the entire 1,000 years, Prahlad Maharaj was hearing. So we can see Prahlad Maharaj was a perfect disciple who was hearing this, and Narad Muni was a perfect guru, and whatever the knowledge he got because of the guru he got. So we can see Prahlad Maharaj actually was a well-wisher for all the jivas. So when Hiranyakashipu came back, and he instructed all his what to say his 2 ministers were there, or we can say in that time Sanakda or something, I forgot the name. Sanakda and two persons were there. The teachers of the Gurukul was there. This we see here, all these people are there. These are demons. Demon sons are there. So Skanda or some, yes, it's mentioned in that Srimad Bhagavatam. Skanda was his guru, was there in the Gurukul. So he Hiranyakashipu called and said, take Prahlad Maharaj also and teach us all the demons qualities which will help to invade this Swarga Loka, and such that they can capture the entire universe. So what happened? This Prahlad Maharaj actually this Skanda and all those guru, they used to teach them here. And then Prahlad Maharaj, whenever we see in our school or colleges or even in office also or at home also, sometimes when we get a break from our daily to daily routine life, what we do actually, we take out phone or something, we gossip from others. But what Prahlad Maharaj used to do, he used to preach everyone. He used to preach all these demons. He used to do a Krishna Katha. He used to say whatever he have heard from Narad Muni. And that's how. And when this teacher used to come and they used to say, why these people are chanting on the name of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and this, he used to say Hari Hari, and then he used to do some kirtan, and like everyone used to uh, dance like that. And then they used to stop them and again give the katha of that. So he was completely fearless. If you see here, he was well wisher of that also. He was Prahlad Maharaj, though he was born in a demon family, the above the senior, over the elder people used to be there. He used to give respect to them. Whoever was junior to them, he used to give to the love them. The who was among with them, they used to mingle with them and be in a very completely. And that's he used to be completely fearless. So Srila Prabhupada used to say, whatever all the devotees you are joining here also, whatever you know about Krishna, when you give it to others, Krishna is very pleased. So that's why he's there. That's the reason he is known as a well-wisher of all the human beings. He was a completely fearless. Sometimes we think, okay, when we take a Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or when we wear a tilak or something like that, people will say, hey, what are this you are doing? So even if you should remember, somebody will be mocking you up also, hey, what are you doing Hare Krishna? So you can think because of you, that person is taking the Hare Krishna, and they will be sooner or later will be getting benefited. So even if you mock also, people will be getting benefited. So let's continue further. So what happened? It's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam also. This Hiranyakashipu used to love his son a lot. And he used to so much of love. So when he used to see this Prahlad Maharaj with his tears of eyes, also he used to do Abhishekam of them. That's the love he was having. And what happened? He was having great amount of love towards it. And then he made Prahlad Maharaj sit on his lap. And then he said, "Oh Prahlad, oh my dear son, kindly tell me what you have learned in the Gurukul." And then, as you know, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, he says the 9 time of devotional service is there. And then he started preaching his own father. The 5 years old kid, he started preaching his own father. And then he said, oh, we should be only worshipping the Hari. There is no other supreme person in the entire. And we should also always remember this Hiranyakashipu, he was so powerful, he was so personal. Then if he raised his eyebrow also, all the demigods used to shiver actually. They used to get frightened only if he raised his eyebrow only. And that's the time when Hiranyakashipu called his gurus of the Gurukul and said, what kind of teaching you are giving to my son? He should be teaching us. You are saying, I said, just to cross check. He said, no, they were brought onto that. It's here in this kingdom, and then they said, no, we have not teaching. They said, who is teaching you? He says, no, this is who will teach. Then he's tell Narad Muni when I was there and all. So then he was totally in anger, and he's what he said, this is not my son. And he gave him a death penalty. Actually, he gave him a death penalty. And what we are saying, take like you can see, imagine a father giving a death penalty to his own son because he was not worshipping. He said, tell Jai Hiranyakashipu. Was saying, no, Jai Hari, Jai Hari, Jai. He was told, Jai Nrsimhadev, Jai Vishnudev. And that's the reason it is saying he gave an instruction to his soldiers and then kill him. So there were different kinds of actually. They took the trident and the hosty demons were there. They went and he kept in a cave and they tried to kill them, but they were not able to kill. And also they were not able to kill. Then they said, we are not able to kill the Prahlad Maharaj because he was completely on the protection of the Lord actually. And then further, if you see, this demons actually took him in the pit of snakes also. And with the speed of snakes, the interesting thing in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Prahlad Maharaj used to pray with them. And then they say, oh, you are the Lord Hari, you are the Ananta Sesha there, you are the Ananta Sesha lineage as there. You are always there, so glorified that you are always living with the God. And they used to like hiss this and they used to listen to this. And they were quite amazed. These demons, like, what is happening to the snake also? They are so venomous. There are so, something is there, why they're not doing? And then what happened? Then also they were not able to kill, and they thought like, okay, if we again take him to the king, like we will be gone. Then they took to mad elephant, and they thought like, if the mad elephant will be trampled, and then he was on the completely protection. He was praying to that Narasimha Dev that the Lord please protect her. And this even the elephant also didn't did anything. And this demon's soldiers then took him to a mountain, and from the mountain or cliff, and then he just throwed him in. And then Prahlad Maharaj just he said, please help me, Lord. And that's what we say, how the Lord carried him also. And then again he was back to that palace, and they were thinking like, oh, what is happening is there. Then Hiranyakashipu was very like, what needs to be done, who is protecting him and all. Then her what we say sister came, Holika, and then she said, I have a boon that I have given a shawl is there, that nobody can like, if I put into a fire, nobody can burn me actually. Then she told, I can take Prahlad Maharaj and sit on. You can imagine her own bua, means like in the father, sister, she is also trying to help. And there is also mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam, her own mother, they used to give the sweet pious poison also. After drinking that also, nothing is to happen. And then we know all the story of this Holika also. That's the reason Holika was burned, but Prasad Maharaj, nothing was then. So that's the, we can see how Krishna actually promises in Bhagavad Gita also. So he's saying, Kaunteya pratijahniya na me bhakta pranashyati. So he's saying, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that no devotee of mine is ever lost also. Say 9.22 also, if the previous verse of yoga, Krishna is talking here, even don't, if somebody does a devotional service, whatever they are having, Krishna will protect that thing, and whatever they are lacking, Krishna will give. So that's a Krishna promise is there, that if you do a devotional service, no devotee of mine is ever lost also. So that's a Krishna promise is there. When Krishna promised to devotee, he comes and always protect to the devotees. And we can see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that's a very wonderful big story is there, that how in the movies also we have seen now, like when the hero entry will be there in the starting, the villains will be like hitting him and all everywhere, and then they will want to show them, and then the hero will just give one slap and then he will die. So we are seeing Hiranyakashipu brother also, when he also was there, when Lord assumed as a incarnation of a boar. So in that his brother, he's trying to kill him, bit and ever. He said, Lord just slapped here, one slap, and he died. So like that also is mentioning that when, so both were trying to like when he was terrified, he said, Hiranyakashipu said, is your Lord lives under this pillar? He said, yes, the Lord is there in the pillar. Then he looked towards the Narasimha Dev, and then Narasimha said, say yes, I am there, wherever. So just can you imagine, just to prove his uh, devotee's word, Narasimha Dev appeared from the pillar. And that's it's a mention in the Bhagavatam. So Hiranyakashipu was very powerful. And so there is a mention, even if you raised it forward, nobody was able to match his powers. Nobody was able to match his strength, and it was there. And so you can see how Ananta Sesh is also always protecting is there. And it's the same in the Bhagavatam, is saying, this Hiranyakashipu told nobody should be. He asked a boon in which he can become immortal, and but the Lord Brahma said, no, nobody can be immortal. Even I am also not immortal. Nobody can be there, and that's mentioned there. Maybe I'll be cutting short because a lot of slides are there to be covered. So there was a means immense fight was there, and when the fight ended, and then Hiranyakashipu said, enough of enough. Now he took, and then he just, if you see, he had a boon that neither he should be killed inside, neither he should be killed outside. So he took in on the gate of his kingdom, neither he should be killed on the air, neither he should be killed on the ground. He just took him on the lap. Neither he should be killed by a man, neither he should be killed by an animal. We can see half lion and half man. Neither he should be killed by any weapons or any instrument. He was killed by, if you see, he was killed by his chisels like nails. It's a mention there how in if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, it's saying bamboo, how it gets stuff out just if you hit a one. So it was how it is. He used to, Hiranyakashipu used to killed apart his rib, and then he took his intestine in full of the garland he wore. And then with his two eyes, one eyes he was looking towards the Prahlad Maharaj with love, and the second eye he was so much angry he wanted to kill this Hiranyakashipu. So it's mentioned beautifully is there. And then this mentioned there in Srimad Bhagavatam that Narasimha was so much in anger, so much of anger that all the demigods and wanted to means calm him down, but nobody was able to do. Even Lord Brahma also says everyone actually looked towards Lord Brahma and said, "You are the person who have given the boon. Because of that, Narasimha Dev have actually appeared here. So can you go and calm down?" I said, "No, no, I don't want to go in front. If I go, something will happen to me also. I'm not going to do." If he said, "Okay, you are the only person," then he looked towards Lakshmi Devi, and then Lakshmi Devi, I said, "Lakshmi Devi, you are the consort of the Lord. You can only help." And then Lakshmi Devi said, "No, no, no. Who is he? I don't know. My husband is very calm. Which avatara he has taken is Lakshmi Devi also." Then everyone looked towards Prahlad Maharaj, and when Prahlad Maharaj went in front of Narasimha Dev, and Narasimha Dev was very calm. Then he took him on his lap, and then Narasimha Dev, he just uses. So protection is actually, protection is not what I think as protection. If Krishna feels that I want to be unwell, sometimes we feel, okay, why I'm going through so much of suffering, it is there. But if we believe in Krishna, if we believe in whatever we are going through, it's for our own benefit, then we will be under the complete protection of Krishna is there. So if we see, Krishna consciousness means protects us from the most dangerous kind of fear. In the Bhagavatam, it says, Sa alpa api so if you see, somebody does a devotional service in this day where there is no loss or diminution, and there is, if you do a little bit of bhakti also, if you do one round of chanting also a daily, and if you do preaching, two words of Krishna is only near. Whatever your nears, your dear, your family members, and everything is there. When you do a little bit of Krishna preaching also, it is there. It's the same. You are able to progress in little advancement also. If you do on this thing, protect you from the dangerous type of fear. What is the dangerous type of fever of a human being have there? Again, he will be going back to that different kind of yonis are there. So it's mentioned there, it's there, that him most dangerous of the fear is there, that we go towards that animal propensities of life, because in that way we are not able to gain that knowledge and not able to continue the Krishna consciousness activity. So Krishna conscious person is devoid of fear actually. So saying vata raga bhaya krodha sthitadhir munirichyate. So you're saying one who is not disturbed in the mind. Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita also, is saying one who is not disturbed in the mind, even amid the threefold miseries are related. So threefold miseries are there. Sometimes we see the problems which is coming from our own body. Sometimes the problems comes from our mind. So from outwards we are very fine, but we are sitting here and then we are thinking what will happen tomorrow. And that's the reason we see a lot of suicidal cases are happening, because everyone talks about the physical health, but nobody talks about the mental health. And that's the reason somehow the fear or something will be there, and they take up a means a step, and that's they go away. So it's saying this three kind of miseries are there. The other will be there. The problems comes from the other human being apart from us. And the third kind of miseries is there, the problems which is coming from the nature. Problems when we suppose you have the whole year, whole life, you have accumulated money and you have built a house, and an earthquake came and everything is devastated, and then you'll be thinking where I'll be going. So it's a saying when there is a happiness, and who is the sin or related when there is so it's a saying when it happiness or distress is there, you should be equipoised as there. And who is free from attachment, fear and anger is called as sage of steadyman. When you chant actually, when you do devotional service, then only it will be happening. So that's the reason he's saying the Krishna consciousness person is devoid of, they know the consequences will be there. So it's not like that the problem won't be coming into that people who is doing a devotional service. When they actually what they do, person who's there in Krishna consciousness, they accept the reality actually. So actually, if you see, there you might have seen lot of inspirational talk also. So yeah, a glass of water have been filled. Somebody will be saying, "Okay, it is half empty, it is half full." So if you say so, somebody might be pessimistic or somebody might be optimistic. So that's the reason we are saying. But actually, a Krishna consciousness person is there. He will be accepting the reality. Okay, whatever is there, he present as it is. What Krishna has given to Arjuna, the same knowledge he tries to give to the other person also. He don't actually interfere it, accept the reality in which wherever you are there, and be always positive. That's what is there. It's not like that you be pessimistic or optimistic, okay, something is there, and then you try to concoct in your mind and then try to run ahead of this situation also. How we can actually understand, there is a very wonderful story is there. So we might have seen everything, whatever happens for a greater good actually is there. So this is a wonderful story. You might have also, some of the, most of the devotees might have also heard when we were there in the school also, in the model science books also, this story used to be there. So it's a saying, Ishwar yat karoti shobhana eva karoti. So what happened? Actually, this one time, this king was there. So he was just at the during those time they used to brush their sharp their swords actually, and while he was doing sharpening his sword actually, so this the left, the tiniest finger, it just went away, ripped apart from because of that sharp sword, and that the sudden goozing of the blood started gushing, and then it was saying, then his minister, a mantri, he came there, and then what he started stopping those blood, and then he was a very careful person, and they always to take care of the king. And then as he was tying this bandage and all those things, and then this prime minister of his this king, he's saying whatever happens is always happens for a good thing. And then he said, Ishwar yat karoti sobhanam eva karoti. So whatever Krishna does, it's good for actually everyone. And then one time he said, the second time again says, Bhagwan jo bhi karta hai wo hamesha अच्छे के लिए करता है, like he does for a. And then this somehow this king was na means got angry and said, what good is happening here? My hand is being cut, the gushing, so much of blood is being oozing, and you are saying it's happening for a good. And the king actually become very angry, and they said, take this prime minister and lock him into a jail. And then suddenly all these soldiers were very shocked, and then the king, this prime minister didn't actually uttered a single word also. And then everyone was shocked, and then at that time also he said, Ishwar yat karoti shobhanam eva karoti. Whatever happening, it's happening for a greater good actually. And then everyone was shocked, and then maybe after some incident, after 1 or 2 months, actually what did actually king thought, okay, let's during those olden times they used to go to a jungle, and then they used to go for what we say, brahman, and they used to kill some animals those times, or sometimes they used to go to a different palace and all. So there were some recreational activities they used to do, and then so king actually like there was they went it with this all those palaces, ministers and everything. And as that it was there during this morning afternoon time, he went inside a deep jungle, and as he went inside to a deep jungle, this cannibals or this adivasis, they were there who was this residing in this jungle. They saw a king, means they saw this man, and then they caught him and they presented to his sardar, the head, and said, means oh lord, you have means oh king, you have ordered us, oh sardar, you have ordered us to bring food for us, so we have brought, and this is very good, you have brought this one. So this man actually looks fit and fine, he's quite healthy also, we can offer him as a bali, we can offer it to the goddess of our. And during those times, they were this adivasis, they used to have a custom, they used to give bali or kill somebody, and they used to offer to their lord. And what happened, they said, okay, let him be tied towards the tree and we will kill him tomorrow. So tomorrow came, and this all these people went, and this there was a priest was there. So priest of this person was there. So he was examining the body of the king, and as he was examining the body of the king, he said, "Release this person. He's not fit for sacrifice." And they were shocked, why it is happening. So he says in his left hand already, what we say, this finger is missing. That means his body is incomplete. This means so body is incomplete means and that means already the blood has came out. We want to give fresh blood to that what we say, offer it to the Lord. Those Adivasi, and they say so he is unfit. His body is unfit because it then in his body is incomplete. And then what happened? They ordered to just open and then leave him, because this his body is completely useless, it's of no use. And then king sat on his horse, and then he was driving very slowly, and he was always remembering his prime minister words. Whatever Krishna does, it's good for everyone actually. Bhagwan jo bhi karte wo hamesha अच्छे ही करते हैं. And then and he was able to understand what are those things is there. And then as soon as he reached the palace actually, uh, he instructed his soldiers to bring his prime minister. And then when his prime minister came, and then he said, he narrated all the complete story, and this prime minister was actually laughing. And then he said that, yeah, I told you, na king, whatever the god actually does, he does for our own benefit, but sometimes we are not able to understand actually. So the king said, yes, I am not now able to connect the dots which you were telling. Maybe at that time I was not able to understand, but when I connect to the dots now, I'm able to actually understand what you were trying to say. But yes, I understood whatever Krishna did, whatever the Lord did, I was safe. But what good you had? I put you into the behind the bus, and you didn't say the word also. What good was happening to you? And then the Mantri, the Prime Minister, again laughed and said, see, King, I was always protecting you. Wherever you used to go, actually, I was always accompanying you. I used to always see there is no danger to you. So that's the reason I used to accompany you everywhere. So suppose if you wouldn't have put me behind the bars, I would have also went to you along with you. And or this Adivasis or the cannibals, they would have caught me also. So they might have released you, but since I have a complete body, they might have killed me. Since your hand got cut, I was put into a behind. I said like that, and I was put into the behind the bar. So my life is also saved. And then both of they started laughing, and they said, and that's Mantri said, "Iswar yat karoti shobhanam eva karoti." So whatever happens, it's happening for a greater good only. So Krishna always protect. Remember everything. Wherever you are falling ill, wherever you are going through any difficulties, if sometimes your mind might not be working, sometimes your exam might be there, you will feel sick or something might be happening which you won't be able to realize, but the god is always protecting. Sometimes he might not be giving you also, you'll be thinking, okay, what is that? Sometimes you'll be asking towards the Lord, oh Lord, give me these things, give me that thing, but Krishna sometimes won't be giving, because he knows how he will be protecting you in a different way. So that's what is this. So Krishna is always protecting all the jivas. And this is a story about the hidden protector also during at the end of Mahabharata also, when the Yuddha was completed. So Arjuna told Krishna, you to get down from the chariot. And then Arjuna told, Krishna told, no, 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 you get down. Once you get down, then only I'll get down. So as soon as Arjuna got down, Krishna, when he actually removed his feet from the chariot, this chariot actually completely got burned in fire. And it was just within a fraction of a second, it was burned into fire, and less ash was only left. So we have seen, because Krishna was there, Arjuna was protected. So many arrows used to come, so many shot was there, Karna was there, so many they used to do. So if it is, if Krishna was not there, this Arjuna by long back who had been killed, this Ratha was also being killed. As soon as Krishna happened, all those whatever this Mahajanas or the great warriors they have seen, each and each everything they was coming, and then it was able, they were able to see. So Krishna is the hidden protector. So as a super soul, as a jiva, he is always there in our heart, and he's trying to protect us, to bring us closer. So thus he is the hidden protector. As a super soul in every jivas he's there, so he's always promising also. So this is a wonderful pastime is there of Sri Lord Ramachandra. So he's saying Sakrat eva prapanno yes tasmati cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami edad vratamah mama. So it's a, it is my vow actually that I will give permanent fearlessness. He's saying permanent fearlessness. Krishna is giving here, Lord Ramchandra is giving you an example. I am taking you bow, and they're giving you a permanent fearlessness to anyone who surrenders unto me and prays. If you only say this word, oh Rama, I am yours, I'm surrendering. Krishna Lord will be taking your entire life. We need to surrender to him. And when he say, I'm yours, he will take personally in charge of us. And that's the reason we'll be able to maybe whatever inconvenience we might be going throughout our life. Sometimes we might not be able to understand what problems we are going through. But once we surrender to the Lord, he will be giving you in strength also to go through that. It's because of our karma only that we are going through. Lord doesn't want to give anyone pain. So is the story is about that that time when Vibhishana, when Hanumanji went to Lanka and he set the complete fire, then after that Vibhishan actually came back to Lord Ramachandra and said, I want to surrender you. I want to surrender you because I have tried to say to my brother Ravan, but he is not listening. And all the Vanars and everyone was there. He said, no, 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 please don't listen to this Vibhishan because he is the brother of an enemy. How we can trust him? And then all this other peoples were there, and they asked everyone actually what needs to be done. Lord Ramchandra asked. Everyone said no, no, he cannot. When he looked towards that Hanumanji, and Hanumanji, he said, Hanuman, what can we do? He said, Prabhu Ram, when I went to Lanka, only he was the person who was taking the name of the Lord. He is actually a devotee of you. And then he's saying, then Lord Ramachandra said, then everyone said, no, no, please don't say. But he said, if anyone surrenders also, I will give him interest. He said, if Bhibhishan is surrendering to me, I will give him Lanka because he have surrendered to him. Then all the devotees asked there, what about Ravana? They say even Ravana also, if he surrenders, I will give him Ayodhya to him because Ravana will give the Lanka. And then he said, okay, Bhibhishan also surrender to you. What about the Bhibhishan will be there? Then he said, well, I'll give Bhibhishan Ayodhya. And then he said, your brother Bharat is also waiting there in Ayodhya. What will you give to Bharat Maharaj? Then he said, I will give Vaikuntha to Bharat Maharaj. And then the devotees said, Maharaj, everything, Lord, you are giving everything to everyone. Where you will live? I said, a devotee or the bhakta like Hanumanji, in his heart always the Lord stays there. So he say, wherever love is there, wherever devotional service is there, I will be always be there in their hearts. So that's the reason when we say to the Lord, he's mentioning his promise. It is my vow that I will be giving you permanent fearlessness. And that's the reason when we do simple for all the devotees who are joining, when you take this trouble of chanting the holy name of the Lord, trying to preach to others, whatever little bit of knowledge also you are having, Krishna is very, very much pleased. We have seen also in 18.6 chapter also, Krishna says, that whoever preach these activities of Krishna consciousness, he is very, very dear to me. And he's saying only we need to surrender to him, and we say, I am yours, and whatever fearlessness is there, we will be able to transcend these things. So that is there today class. That's all I wanted to say. So maybe this is about Gita Gyan registration. We'll about to start a new batch on March. So you can also try to message everyone. They will be able to. And this is like a certificate course. If somebody who haven't done till now, so once our batch starts, so if they join the course, they at the end of the course they will be given the certificate of question like this one, a certificate. And devotees who haven't got any certificate, they can message me. I'll try to check whether they have received or not. So now open for question and answer. Thank you, devotees, for taking out time and joining for today, Sunday special class on a New Year special day and taking out your time. Yeah. Yeah. So before we jump into question answer, thank you, devotees, for taking out the time. Maybe you had that opportunity to utilize 1 hour of a time somewhere else, but you chose to hear Krishna Katha on that starting day of the year. So I wish and pray to Krishna that you all devotees progress in devotional service. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. Okay, if anybody have any question, please feel free to ask.